Charles Barkley, he has talked long and hard and loud about his hunger for an NBA title. He was traded to the Phoenix Suns with a 3-for-1 deal. The trade,
Charles now faced the defining test of his career. The Suns offered him what he wanted most, a second chance. But he knew also that if he failed, it would probably be his last. Before Charles could meet his destiny in Phoenix, he would join the Dream Team for the Summer Olympics. And from the start, his trip to Barcelona seemed to renew his spirits.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to welcome you aboard. This is...
Glad to be here. It meant a lot to me because they were saying, hey, you're a great player and you've done a hell of a job, even though your team hasn't been winning. So that was great.
Reaffirmed as one of the game's top stars, Charles again found himself in the midst of adoring fans.
It was like traveling with, I guess, the Beatles. You know, that stuff you see on TV where there's thousands and thousands of people waiting all the time. It was unbelievable.
While some Olympians may have found the constant crowds and attention daunting, Charles took to the streets with relish.
I'm in the Olympics. I wanted to see it. I mean, it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I'm not gonna spend the whole time in my hotel room. I think that's crazy.
One of the game's most visible figures, Charles attracted the media in droves, and he entertained them like the Charles of old.
People usually go after the guy who's the most vocal, and he didn't disappoint anybody. He was in rare form.
How much do you know about Angola, the guy that you would be playing there? And
I don't know anything about Angola, but Angola's in trouble.
How did you feel in 1972 when the Soviet Union beat the United States in that wild game?
Well, I had just flunked my entrance exam into kindergarten, so that was the only thing,
Charles was once again enjoying his celebrity status, and at the same time, he reveled in being a part of a team where he was not the only focal point.
David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Michael Jordan. This is like
Charles, what are you doing, lying again?
spring break in the ghetto. It was kind of just like hanging out at a big fraternity party.
Come on, man, get your bowling ball here.
Hey, that was a good joke. Did you do that too?
No, I didn't.
Sometimes I dream that he is me. I just want to be like Chuck. Isn't this fun, Mom?
Relieved of the burden of carrying a losing team, Charles was also having fun sharing the court with his superstar teammates.
Charles is on the run again. Behind his back.
If I just do my thing, they gonna make me look good, I'm gonna make them look good. Because if you're a great player, man, the game is so easy. And the better players you play with, the game is even easier.
Charles, these guys were so nice and friendly, and they were patting each other on the back, commending you all. Is it hard?
They got beat by 40 points.
But is it hard for you to turn?
Nice guys finished last.
And as the Dream Team swept to its ultimate goal,
As expected, won the goal here in Barcelona.
Charles could just relax and enjoy it.
I think there was never really any doubt we were going to win the gold medals. We took the gold medal for granted, but the whole Olympic experience was just fun for me.
Though Charles's triumphant Olympic performance had served notice that he retained his distinctive flair, he arrived in Phoenix facing heavy scrutiny. The Suns hoped that Charles would transform them from a perennially good team to a championship contender. But the questions that had arisen in Philadelphia had them nervously wondering whether he could handle the challenge.
I remember when we made that trade, people were skeptical about that. They said, well, a conservative community like Phoenix, how are they going to accept Charles Barkley?
We're like everybody else. We knew what you read in the paper or what you hear. And I think everybody was a little, anticipating maybe the worst.
Though the pressure on Charles could hardly have been greater, he faced it without ever letting it affect him.
When I first came to Phoenix, I'm going to be myself. I don't really worry too much about what other people think.
From the first day of training camp, he challenged his teammates. I remember one of the first things he did in a practice was he just hammered Cedric Ceballos. He wanted to see how everyone was going to react to that.
I just thought that was unnecessary, uncalled for. I let him know, and we got into a little verbal battle out there on the court. His reason for doing it was basically trying to see who was going to speak up and who would go to war and who would support their teammates.
I think everybody started to see that, there's only 12 of us. We need to have all 12 going in the same direction and going towards the same goal. And he brought the team a lot closer by doing that.
With his new teammates now firmly behind him, Barkley was ready to take Phoenix into the 1993 season.
Gets it out front to Howard. It's stolen by Barkley. Here comes Sir Charles. Bravo! Blocked from behind by Barkley. My, oh my, where did he come from? Barkley, nice spin move. Oh, you talk about power.
As he had in Philadelphia, Barkley would now put his personal imprint on his team.
If you're getting a loose ball and you're close, he'll tell you, get the hell out of the way, this is my ball.
A three for Marley that won't fall. Tipped in the air, there's Barkley.
If the ball is up for grabs and Barkley is anywhere near it, it's Charles.
He absolutely thinks he's the best player on the floor and that he knows more than the referees, and nobody should stop him.
Here he comes again. And here comes Charles. Don't get in his way.
He brought that role of being Mr. Big Tough Guy all the time, making sure that everybody knew that, when the Suns are coming to town, it's a possibility of you getting blown out, getting your butt kicked or whatever. Everybody's starting to put their shoulders up higher, their heads high, and walking with that arrogance.
The Barkley-led Suns would take the NBA by storm as Charles continued to surprise his teammates.
Beautiful pass. Barkley spotted Barkley.
I really knew he was a great player, but I didn't know he was the all-around player that he is.
Barkley, and look out, here comes Phoenix. Oh, look at that pass. Oh, my goodness.
I didn't realize he could shoot the ball from three-point range.
McGill bounced to Charles, 4-3, got it.
Beautiful shot, Charles.
I didn't know he was a good shot blocker.
Blocked by Barkley. Oh, what a block.
I mean, he's won probably 3 or 4 games just by blocking shots at the end of the game.
8 seconds to play. Here's the drive by Smith. It's blocked by Barkley. Saved by Marley, and he's fouled with 3 seconds to go. Barkley made the block. Barkley made the block. Oh, brother. 3 seconds left in the game.
It was just an unbelievable feeling to be on a good team with good guys, and it's just fun when you win. It's that simple.
Barkley was once again lighting up arenas with his unabashed love of the game. And the skepticism that had greeted him in Phoenix now turned to celebration.
And they should be.
He has charisma. He brings people to him. How many guys have a writer following them around and all he does is the Barkley beat? Only a couple quotes from Barkley. He doesn't cover the story, the pre-game stories or anything. He does the Barkley beat.
Without question, he's the most popular athlete ever to wear a Phoenix uniform in any sport, and he accomplished that in 1 year.
Barkley's revitalization was not only big news in Phoenix, but also throughout the league.
He carries on a press conference before every game. He'll have a half-an-hour press conference with the media in every city.
Charles's popularity had never been greater. Now the player who had been the league's most notorious villain was its most celebrated star.
Charles Barkley!
Wait a minute. What's going on here? Some fan ran out on the court, and Barkley's getting some smooches.
I'm surprised that wasn't one of my daughters the way they love Barkley.
I think it started with the Olympics. I think that brought me to the forefront. But in the last year or so, man, it just kind of all just like boom.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the man we all know and love, Charles Barkley.
Action.
Check this out. No matter how much success you have, every time you go to the next level, it's still mine, Barkley.
But no matter how high Barkley's popularity skyrocketed, he never lost sight of his goal.
Money doesn't matter, endorsements don't matter. The only thing matters is winning.
And win is what he would do. He would lead the Suns to the most victories in franchise history and garner for himself the game's highest individual honor.
You led your team in assists, you led them in rebounds, you led them in points, and you led them to the best record in the NBA. The fans here and around America join me in congratulating you, Charles Barkley, the 1992-93 National Basketball Association Most Valuable Player. Congratulations.
Charles had completed his remarkable resurrection with a flourish.
Charles's teammates now are bowing down to him.
But it was clear that Charles's most important test lay ahead of him. That had been obvious from his first day in Phoenix.
When Charles came in, and I showed him the arena, the new arena here, I said, Charles, you see this beautiful, magnificent building? It was all built without your services. I took him into the arena, see all these seats? They will be full. And I want you to know something, Charles. You didn't put one person in the seats. Every seat was sold out before you ever got here. Now, look up there. What don't we have? Championship flag. That's what we want from Charles Barkley. If you don't bring that championship to us, then don't be telling us what you did for us.
The court pass to Worthy. He might score it himself. Slam dunk.
But as the playoffs began, it looked as if Charles's inspirational season was going to end embarrassingly short of expectations.
And the Los Angeles Lakers go home one victory away from knocking out the winningest team in the NBA. Oh my.
We're down 0-2, and I know the next question is, are you guys dead? No, we're going to win the series. We're going to win one Tuesday, and the next game's Thursday. We'll win there. Then we'll come back and we'll win the series on Sunday. And everybody will say what a great series it was.
Westfall had made the guarantee, and now Charles would shoulder the burden of making good on it.
Hey, sir, let's put it together, guys. Let's win. We got to win tonight. That's simple. Let's show up. So you're always nervous, but it's not a nervous scared. It's nervous like, what can I do now?
What he would do was to lead one of the most dramatic comebacks in playoff history, as he simply refused to let the Suns be defeated.
They're fighting for their life, led by Charles Barkley.
Charles makes everybody's job so much easier because he takes such a burden on himself. He's the superstar of the team. He is willing to take that responsibility for wins and losses.
Leading the Suns to 2 straight victories in Los Angeles, Charles returned to Phoenix ready to fulfill Westfall's prophecy. And though the Lakers put up a bitter struggle, Charles finished them off with a relentless determination.
In overtime, Phoenix advances.
Barkley's next challenge came in the person of San Antonio superstar David Robinson.
The baseline gets in underneath. A lot of traffic, though. He's going to lose the ball. Dives for it. Finally picks it up. Here's his fadeaway. He got it. He wouldn't give up on it.
With Barkley and Robinson battling to a standstill, the series remained deadlocked through 4 games. But it would be in the 5th game that Barkley would face the Spurs' stiffest challenge.
In Game 5, I probably played my best game of my life. We were down the whole game, and I scored 20 points in the 4th quarter, and it was just unbelievable.
Barkley now comes in underneath. Reverse layup won't go. He battles for the rebound, follows and scores. Robinson, he tries to jam it, and it's blocked by Barkley. The defensive gem of the night. Here he comes, there he goes. Those are the big plays the Suns need. Ainge on the drive. He'll follow. No! Barkley's there. He'll put it up. Oh, a shot! Oh, my goodness! He has been a terror here in the 4th quarter. What a game!
Nothing personal. I don't mean to brag, but can't no one person stop me. But don't take that personal.
Game 6 would again turn on Barkley's personal battle, as the Suns again looked to him for last-second heroics.
It's time to go to work with Chuck. KJ will be up. We got 3-point shooters spotted. Bring Chuck right to the ball. Chuck, you go to work.
Yeah, I got the best.
He wants the ball. Charles wants the ball in every pressure situation there is.
Robinson on Barkley. It's his game to win. Barkley, 20-footer, yes, with 1.8 seconds. Charles Barkley.
I'll take any shot, anytime, anywhere. Somebody got to be the hero. Might as well be me.
In the conference finals, the Seattle Supersonics strategy was a simple one. Stop Barkley, and you stop the Suns.
Barkley takes it inside, keeps coming, goes to the hoop. He's knocked down. No whistle, no harm, no foul.
Double and triple teaming him, Seattle worked to frustrate Charles. But his fiery determination was undimmed.
He goes in, knocked down. Marley follows follows and scores. Well, the Suns just didn't give up on him.
I mean, he might fail, but he's not going to fail because he's not giving it a shot.
Charging over and around Seattle's swarm of defenders, Barkley carried Phoenix to a 3-2 lead, and within one victory of his first finals.
I remember last year when we were playing Seattle in the sixth game. You know, he put on his jaw. You know, I think the patent tape, you know, had us listening to that. He goes out there and he doesn't have a good game. Doesn't play. He plays hard, but he was playing hard and he was hurting us though, as he always said.
Barkley blocked by Perkins. Boy, what a scramble. Barkley, fourth attempt, doesn't score.
This is one that you can definitely pin on me. How it's a difference in the game. It's not often when a guy who's supposed to win the game for you blows it for you. But you take the good with the bad.
You know, I wasn't feeling too good because you never know what's going to happen in a situation. Because someone could have gotten hurt. He says, hey, don't worry about it. He says, don't worry about it. Yep, we gave that game to him. He says, I did anyway. He says, don't worry about it.
Barkley again faced the end of his finals quest, and again he would rise to the challenge.
At that point, I'm saying to myself, I just got to play the best game of my life, and I'm going to the finals.
Frank Johnson comes up with a loose ball. The Suns on the run. Give it to Barkley. Whammo! That's all they needed. Barkley. Wham, bam, slam.
Here's the man going to work. Gets the double team. Oh, my. Said, don't get in my 41. Attention, attention, Chicago. He takes it to the iron and misses it. Gets her rebounds. Barkley. He's everywhere. And that's what happens when you got your game on. There goes that man again. He has been the man who's been leading them, and he's fired up, Dick. He wants that ball. Barkley scores, and he is fouled. Superstars come to play in big games, and Charles Barkley has come to play tonight.
You know, in that seventh game, I think he had 44 points, 25 rebounds. And he said, Frank, I told you not to worry about it.
And the Phoenix Suns are in the NBA Finals in quest of their first ever NBA championship.
That was a perfect example of his will to win. He was not going to allow us to lose that game.
Charles's long-awaited trip to the championship series was finally at hand. His journey had been an arduous one, but now at last he would lead his team into battle for basketball's ultimate prize.
We are the best team in the world. Let's go, baby. Let's win.
Ironically, he would face the Chicago Bulls, the team that had started his spiral in Philadelphia so long ago. But this time, he would not be defeated easily.
Charles Barkley is at his best.
And even as the Bulls jumped out to a 2-0 series lead, Charles remained steadfast in his belief in himself and his team.
Kevin Johnson hearing it. Wow, hearing the Bulls.
To the Phoenix fans who were getting on Kevin tonight, if Kevin Johnson, we wouldn't be here without him. And if you're gonna boo Kevin Johnson or give him a hard time if he's struggling, please don't come to the game, because we don't need you. If you're not going to be with us through the good times and the bad times, we don't want you here.
He is with his team, win or lose, good or bad. And he stood up and he was counted.
He puts nothing ahead of his teammates, and I think that's a great quality that he has. And he knew that if he stepped up and said something nice about KJ and that we're still behind him, that people would step back and listen to him because of who he is.
He had seen his team in Philadelphia dismantled. Now in Phoenix, he would hold his team together.
Charles has come to play, and he's come to lead his team. He's putting them on his shoulder saying, I'm going to lead you. Everybody follow me.
Though Barkley would ultimately come up short in his cherished quest, he would never stop fighting.
That's a superstar. That's a leader. And he wants a championship.
And though the Suns would not fulfill their championship expectations, Barkley would not let their spirit be broken.
We played as hard as we could. Can't do no more. I'm proud of my team.
I have to give all the respect to the Phoenix Suns for keep fighting back. They really playing championship basketball.
I expected us to win the World Championship this year. I mean, I expected it all the way. I don't really think we came away empty. I think that we gave it all we had. We played as hard as we could, and that's all anybody can ask of you.
You were kind of actually caught between a rock and a hard place because you want to say it was a great year, but you feel so bad right now.
In your job and in whatever you do in life, if you can honestly say you did the best you could, I think that's all that matters. I don't think anybody can ever say they had a year like I've had it. If we had won, that would have been a capper.
He wants it real bad, and he does have it in perspective. If he doesn't get it, his life's not going to end because he doesn't get it, but when he's out there competing, he probably feels like it's going to end if he doesn't get it.
I don't look at myself as like a failure because we didn't win the World Championship. You know, hey, if we're on a team good enough to win it, we'll win it. If we're not, we won't win it.
Like the protagonist of many heroic stories, Charles has come full circle. But despite all the changes he has gone through, he still seems to inspire endless attempts to define him.
Charles is the epitome of the conservative ideal, of a guy who never asked for anything, who overcomes odds, goes out and competes, doesn't make excuses, doesn't whine. He just has made a success out of himself.
Opinions and perceptions change, but Charles is so enduring. I think anybody that knows Charles Barkley, it's very difficult not to like him.
He loves life. He loves the game. He's always smiling, even after bad games. He's just a guy that loves sports, loves his job, and makes everyone else's job a lot more fun.
Perhaps he is such an intriguing subject because he has never been particularly worried about making himself clear, except, of course, to the one person with whom he has always managed to come to terms with, himself.
You know, people think you're trying to be this and that. I mean, where I'm from, if somebody asks you a question, you tell them the truth. I mean, and if I had a chance to do it all over again, maybe I would have just said what they want me to say. But I'm proud of myself because I didn't, because you should be able to be honest. That's it. Simple.
Here comes Charles. Get out of the way. And give it back and send it in. He's on the move. Nice return, Barkley.
A flying slam by Barkley, polishes it off. And I mean a power wham, bam, slam by Sir Charles. Here he goes to Sedale, back to Charles. Oh, did he explode? And it goes. That was brilliant. Wow, power extraordinaire. Great pass. Quickly, Barkley, what a play. Oh, what a jam. At the play, something special in the air right there. Taking the run live underneath the Barkley. Forget it. Watch his eyes light up. Whoa, I'm going to the hole. See you later, kaboom. Gembelix trying to break. Sixers got back in. The dagger rejected by Barkley. Let's watch this. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. The ultimate entertainer.